Well, for more on this, I want to welcome Avi Mayer, the former editor-in-chief for the Jerusalem Post. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So Mr. Netanyahu today was trying to explain his reasoning for keeping troops in the Philadelphia corridor, this stretch of land between Gaza and Egypt, which is a key sticking point in the negotiations, instead of making it a priority to bring the hostages home. And of course, yesterday the defense minister called the cabinet's decision to stay there a moral disgrace. What did you make of the press conference?
Look, I think on the one hand, he was trying to appear compassionate. He appeared to be choking up when he read out the names of those hostages who were executed by Hamas just a few days ago. We just had the last funeral a few minutes ago here in Israel. The entire country is really wrapped in grief. And I think he was sort of speaking to that at the beginning of the press conference. But then, as your correspondent said, he returned to his erstwhile position, saying, Israel has to remain in the Philadelphia corridor. We cannot allow a situation where Hamas can smuggle in weapons, individuals, cash freely as it has up until now. He said that is what enabled Hamas to carry out the atrocities of October 7th. So Israel needs to maintain a physical presence along that corridor, which of course is a major sticking point in the negotiations between Israel and Hamas in the attempt to reach some kind of a ceasefire and hostage deal.
I mean, we saw these widespread, nationwide protests today. Talk to us about the mood in Israel, because some families of hostages said they hope that this is a turning point. Is it?
Look, when you described the atmosphere earlier as one of grief and anger and frustration, I think that is exactly apt. That is exactly what so many of us are feeling today. It is a collective grief. The names of those hostages have become household names. Certainly, Hersh Goldberg Poland is a name that is known outside of Israel, but all the others are known very well inside Israel as well. And so we all feel as though we've lost a member of our own family. And then that turns to frustration as to why it is that they were still there. What more could Israel have done in order to bring them home, which is how you saw these hundreds of thousands of Israelis swarm the streets of Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and other cities, calling for a deal at pretty much any cost at this point, just to bring those remaining hostages home, as many as we possibly can alive, and then certainly the bodies of those who no longer are.
Of course, we heard from Rachel, the mother of Hersh, today, speaking, just giving heartbreaking, her thoughts on her son and whether she did enough to bring him home, asking for forgiveness for not doing enough. Do you think the pressure that's growing for Netanyahu to do more will help him see the light, or do you think his political future is more important at this point in time?
Well, look, the Goldberg Polands live in my neighborhood here in Jerusalem. Her grace, her determination over the past few months have been simply incredible to witness. I've had the opportunity to meet with both her and her husband, John, on numerous occasions. And I think that pressure really has helped keep the hostages in the public eye and in the public consciousness around the world. That itself has played a certain role in ensuring that we are keeping our eye on the ball and doing whatever we can to bring those hostages home. I don't think that Netanyahu is opposed in principle to bringing the hostages home. I think he very much wants to do that, but he has to take into account both security concerns and his own political survival. He feels, rightly or wrongly, that Israel must maintain that presence along the Philadelphia corridor in order to prevent Hamas from using it as a smuggling route, as it has for so many years. And of course, he's also deeply concerned that the right-wing members of his coalition will bolt and essentially bring down his government if he proceeds with a deal that they don't find satisfactory. And so he has to balance many different concerns at once. But I certainly think that he, as I think many Israelis, deeply concerned about the fate of the hostages and very much wants to bring them home as swiftly as possible.
Avi Mayer, great to get your perspective, joining us live from Jerusalem. Thanks so much.
Thank you.